in this series, Oishin taught you how to maintain your computer with CCleaner, and that is essential to keeping your computer maintained. However, a really big aspect of having a strong and clean computer as well is to deal with malware. So I'm just going to define what malware means. So the technical definition is software that is intended to damage or disable computers and computer systems. So you might have different types of malware, such as Trojans, viruses, adware, maybe even scareware. So the bottom line is that malware is bad, as you can see from mal, right? And really, the essence is that it can cause potential issues with your system. You never know. You could have damaging effects. You might have endless pop-ups. You might have people trying to steal your information. You never know. So this video is intended to show you how to deal with such issues. Now, a really good program I find to dealing with this is Malwarebytes. So Malwarebytes has a free version and a paid version, and we're just going to deal with the free version right now, which is essentially a scanner, whereas the paid version is a complete antivirus. So you're going to want to go to malwarebytes.org/anti-malware, and then you find the free download button. So you're going to want to find PC or Mac, depending on which one you're using. The setup is quite similar. So I'm using a Mac, so I'm going to go here, and I've already downloaded it. So you're just going to click this button. Now, if you're on PC, you're going to download that, and then open the exe file and follow the installer. I'm using a Mac, so I'm just going to run you through this. So you're going to click on the DMG, and then you're going to want to drag it into applications. So just drag into applications. Now I've already done that, so I'm just going to skip straight to opening Malwarebytes. Here we are. And it says, Malwarebytes Anti-Malware is an application downloaded from the internet. Are you sure you want to open it? Yes, open that. And then you'll have this whole end user license agreement. Make sure you read the whole thing and take notes because you're going to be tested on that. But not really. Anyways, accept that. I'm going to enter my password. Install helper. And that goes through, and that is pretty simple, right? Right, all right, we're going to go to the next step. There are fundamental differences between Malwarebytes for PC and Malwarebytes for Mac. So I'm just going to start with Mac for now, because it is a bit simpler. So if you just look at this interface, this is all there is to it. Scan, next steps, and get help. So next steps and get help really are just documentation. It's just manuals. You might be able to get some help just looking through them, especially the next steps. It just kind of gives common symptoms of specific adware, malware, etc. And basically, if you have if this program isn't helping you, then you might be able to look through that and that might help you. But really, the big thing here is scan. So it scans your system for any known malware or adware, then gives you information found about the adware found, and it removes it for you. So essentially, it looks through the folders that you have, and it looks for common malware or viruses that you have. You just click on it. It takes maybe 5 to 10 minutes. It is a quick scan. And that's really all there is to it for Malwarebytes for Mac. So now I'm going to run through Windows. Now that you've seen the Malwarebytes program on Mac, you see the Malwarebytes UI, user interface, on PC, and you can see it's a little bit more complex. So right now I'm using the premium free trial. However, the user interface does not really change once that expires. So you have the license, as you can see, premium free trial, database version. So this is basically their history book of malware that's available and created as of right this moment. And you really always want to keep this up to date. There are always new versions of malware being created, and you always want Malwarebytes to be able to kind of find those new versions of malware to, kind of remove them from your computer for you. If you don't update your database, you're only going to be protected from old malware. And really, that's not a good idea. It should only take a minute to update it each time. Scan progress is essentially a percentage progress bar of a current scan, or it also shows you the next scheduled scan, which I'll show you how to do in a second. And you also have real-time protection. That's only on the free trial, pardon, that's only on the premium version or free trial. You don't get that on the free version. However, you do get real-time protection using other antivirus software such as AVG or Avast. So you have the Scan Now button, which brings you to the next part. So in this page, you can select a scan. So there's the threat scan, custom scan, and hyperscan. So the threat scan is their most comprehensive scan. It really scans pretty much your whole computer, all the places malware is known to hide, and really this is the longest scan. It should take, depending on the speed of your hard drive, approximately 2 hours. However, it is very thorough. If if you don't find anything using this, then there's a good chance you don't have anything. However, it's always good to get a second look with another antivirus program. Custom scan is where, say, you want to choose a specific folder or file that you'd like to look at, and really the time depends on how big that file or folder is. And hyperscan really is pretty much enough for 95% of cases. What it does is it looks for the most commonly infected areas on your computer and runs through it. It should only take approximately 10 to 20 minutes. And really, like I said, it's good for, say, 95% of people, surprisingly. However, if you find a lot of things using Hyperscan, you might want to take a look at Threat Scan after, just to kind of get everything 100% dealt with. Now, if you look in the settings, most of them are not entirely useful to an end user, but I'm going to run you through the ones that are. So in general settings, you have notifications. So if it finds a virus or anything while you're just browsing, you'll get that notification and you'll be able to deal with it by removing it or quarantining it. Language, English, close notification, yes. And then if you click on malware exclusions, this basically allows you to kind of hide specific folders from your antivirus. This is useful for when the antivirus kind of finds a file and thinks it's a virus, but it isn't, and it gives you really annoying pop-ups. So you'd use this in those circumstances. Web exclusions, say if you have a website of your own and for some reason it thinks you're a virus, if it thinks your website is a virus, you might want to put it in here just by adding the domain. You just click on add domain and then type in www. say google.ca, and it'll have it in there, and it'll basically ignore it. And then this might be useful for a lot of users, automated scheduling. So how this works is you set a time and you set a frequency, so you can have it repeat every hour, every day, etc. And you can even have options if say your computer isn't on at the time and it couldn't run the scan. Say run it again within 23 hours. So basically, this is really a neat option if you don't really have time to kind of sit there and set everything up. It just does it for you, and basically it's just really good for time management. And really, I think it's really good to have frequent monitoring of your computer. And then you have quarantine in history. So those were all the settings that I think were potentially useful to an end user. And here you have history. Say if the antivirus made a mistake and accidentally quarantined or removed a file, you can come here and restore it. Or you can look at your history of what has happened, what kind of viruses that your antivirus has found for you. You can kind of just look through it out of interest. So really, that's all there is to it for Malwarebytes. It's not a very complex antivirus or program. However, it really is essential to the upkeep of your computer. You really want to be using this at least once a month. And potential symptoms, if you don't do it, you might have a really large slowdown of your computer or just general jankiness and poor performance. So again, you want to use this to maintain your computer, and I hope this video helped you. Thank you.